Video 35, Cultural Competence in Delivery Area, 3 Chess Subcompetencies 3.1.3. Review the learning objectives for this video. Now we are going to talk about something that is truly at the heart of effective health education, and that is cultural competence and cultural humility. These are related but distinct concepts that every health educator must understand for effective program delivery. Cultural competence refers to a set of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that enable a person to work effectively across different cultural contexts. It includes knowledge of different cultural practices, health beliefs, and communication styles. It also includes the skills to adapt your approach based on that knowledge, and the self-awareness to recognize your own cultural biases and assumptions. For many years, cultural competence was presented as a goal you could achieve, almost like a credential you earn. Cultural humility, on the other hand, was introduced by Melanie Tervalon and Jann Murray-García in 1998 as a complementary approach. Cultural humility emphasizes that understanding other cultures is a lifelong process that is never truly complete. It involves ongoing self-reflection about your own identity, biases, and privilege. It requires recognizing the power imbalances that exist between health professionals and the communities they serve. And it means approaching every interaction with a willingness to learn from the community rather than assuming you already know what they need. I find this perspective to be so important for our work. In contemporary health education practice, the most effective approach combines both concepts. You develop cultural competence through education and experience, while maintaining cultural humility by recognizing that your understanding will always be incomplete and that the community members themselves are the experts on their own lives and cultures. For the Certified Health Education Specialist exam, be prepared to define both terms and explain how they work together. This is one of those areas where the knowledge you build will directly make you a better practitioner. When adapting health education programs for specific cultural groups, researchers distinguish between two levels of adaptation, and this distinction is really valuable for your practice. Surface structure adaptations involve making the observable, tangible elements of a program match the target population. This includes translating written materials into the language spoken by the community, using images and photographs that represent the people in the community, incorporating familiar foods and activities into examples and demonstrations, matching the demographic characteristics of program staff to those of the community. Surface structure adaptations are important because they increase the face validity of the program. When participants see people who look like them in the materials and hear examples that reflect their daily lives, they are more likely to engage. However, and this is crucial, surface structure adaptations alone are not sufficient. Deep structure adaptations address the underlying cultural values, beliefs, and social dynamics that influence health behavior. This includes incorporating cultural values such as family obligation, religious faith, or collective identity into the program design. It means understanding and addressing culturally specific health beliefs, such as traditional healing practices or spiritual explanations for illness. It involves reflecting community communication patterns, such as the use of storytelling in cultures where oral tradition is valued over written text. Most importantly, deep structure adaptation involves engaging community members as active partners in program planning and design, not just as passive recipients. This approach, often called community-based participatory research or participatory program development, ensures that the program genuinely reflects the community's perspectives and priorities. When you commit to both levels of adaptation, you are showing genuine respect for the community you serve. Implementing culturally inclusive health education programs requires intentional strategies at every stage, and these are strategies you can start using right away in your work. Before designing a program, conduct a thorough community cultural assessment. This involves learning about the community's demographics, languages spoken, health beliefs, trusted institutions, communication preferences, and historical experiences with health systems. This information should come directly from community members, not from assumptions or stereotypes. Engage a community advisory board that includes diverse representatives from the priority population. This board should have genuine decision-making authority, not just a rubber stamp role. They can review program materials, suggest modifications, identify potential cultural missteps, and help build trust with the broader community. Their involvement makes your program stronger in ways you might not expect. Train all program facilitators in cultural humility and implicit bias awareness. Even well-intentioned health educators carry unconscious biases that can affect their interactions with participants. Regular training and self-reflection exercises help facilitators recognize and address these biases. Use multiple communication channels that are preferred by the community. Some communities rely heavily on word of mouth through trusted leaders such as clergy, elders, or community health workers. Others are most responsive to social media, radio, or print materials in their preferred language. Do not assume that the channels you use most are the ones your community prefers. Take the time to ask. Finally, evaluate your program specifically for cultural appropriateness and cultural satisfaction. Include questions in your evaluation instruments that ask participants whether the program respected their cultural values, whether the materials were relevant to their lives, and whether they felt welcomed and understood. This feedback should directly inform future program improvements and demonstrate your commitment to continuous cultural learning. This kind of thoughtful, community-centered approach is what sets truly excellent health educators apart. Read the scenario stem aloud. Give students 30 seconds to consider options before advancing. The correct answer is B. The program has adequate surface structure adaptations with translated materials and representative images. However, it lacks deep structure adaptation because it has not incorporated the community's cultural values, specifically the role of extended family in health decisions and the use of traditional remedies. Deep structure adaptation would involve integrating these cultural health beliefs and family dynamics into the actual program content and design, not just the visual materials. Summarize the key takeaways.